بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is our program Spirit of Values. We will continue today with the value of innovation. Last episode we mentioned the concept that in order to get an innovation and start with an idea, then you start by implementing the idea. So these were the two I's, idea and implementation. But for the idea, there are also two conditions. Not any idea is considered that we can apply innovation. The first concept of the idea, first, it should be unique, which means it's different from other types of ideas. So uniqueness is a must in the idea. This is the first condition. But the second condition, it should satisfy a need. So if you get only one of the two conditions, you will never achieve a result. So if you get a very unique idea, but there is no need, how can we succeed? But also, if we bring an idea that satisfies needs without being unique, why to come and get to your ideas? So the idea, the two conditions of success for any idea is to be unique and satisfy needs. However, idea only consists of 10% of success is considered with the idea, because the concept is not in the idea rather than in the action. So a concept of RBM, and you can get back to the episode of RBM, it's result-based management. Result-based management. In the concept of result-based management, we need an action. So the second I is very important, implementation. And implementation will give 90% of success. Let's get to the idea of uniqueness. They consider a concept called USP. USP. If we look at this picture of a cow, what is different of you can see in this cow from other cows? If you are moving in a very quick train, and you are traveling in this train and you pass by a field of lots of cows like this, you cannot distinguish this. But if you notice a certain cow that has a color pink, one cow pink, you can for sure discover this, distinguish this of all the cows because it has some sort of uniqueness. So always whenever you bring an idea, check what we call USP, unique selling point of the idea. This will achieve the concept of the creativity. Now, once you start thinking of this idea and you present it, for example, to top management, you present it for someone who will support you with finance, apply the concept of be brief. Be brief. So summarize the concept in a mind map. We discussed the concept of mind map. Who are the target user of this idea? Define your main client, but also define who will support you in this idea. What is the theme of the idea? Is it industrial? Is it in sport? Is it in finance? Define the theme and what are the main information you need to define, but always before acting, be brief once you give this idea to the target audience in order to get information. Now, the success is not in the idea. We mentioned the idea is 10% only. Implementation, the second I of success in any innovation process is the implementation, which gives 90% of success. And Edison said the following: creativity is 1% inspiration only, but 99% hard working. Give time for implementation. Give effort for implementation. Creativity without effort, no innovation, no new issues are translated. Creativity by itself is not an objective. It's a process to help get the new idea, which is the innovative idea. And there is always to think of what we call the fear. what prevents most people that they have excellent ideas and they are very creative, there is what we call fear of failure. Fear of failure is always preventing the new creative idea to be implemented. And if you discuss why we fear of failure, fear of future, but always we give a advice that we have to think of. FF, is it fear of failure? No, the concept of, if you want to fear anything, fear. FF, fear, you will implement. So just think and remove the fear, you will reach success. And remember, no success is achieved from the first trial. We always have to think, to give effort, and we learn from our failure to keep going with any idea that we get. So the idea of innovation needs effort, needs uniqueness, needs a good idea, but needs an effort for implementation, and don't give up once you face fear in your life. But also the FF means focus and follow up. You want to succeed? Focus. Focus on your idea. Focus on the product you want, on the service, and always follow up with the new issues, new advancement, even the failure you learn, and then keep focus and follow up is needed. However, in order to implement your idea, you need resources. No idea is implemented without resources. If you get back to the episode of management, we mentioned the 12 resources that we need to think of. Any idea, any creative idea without resources will never be implemented. So the idea here is we have inputs, we have a process to go through if we want to get an output or outputs. Always the inputs are the resources, and the process is the effort you give, the plans you do, the implementation, then you get the product or the service, and the value of creativity is translated into the value of innovation. What are the main resources? We have the 4 M's are the tangible resources. Tangible resources means that resources you can see and touch. The first most important resource is actually the manpower. So the first M is manpower or human resource. So the human resource is what we need if we want to start this idea. Can you alone implement an idea and start a project? It would be difficult. Always we have to believe in the we, and you can get to our episode of value of team. We is better than I. I and you equals we. So we need to define the manpower. Define how many people you need for this idea. What type of specialty? For example, I need one IT, I need one from the finance, and I need one for marketing. So define the number, define the area and specialty, and define the skills needed by the human resources to start acting. The second M is the machines. Some projects need lots of machinery, but at least, even if you have a new small idea and a very limited project, at least you need a laptop. So define the machinery you need. Machines cannot act without defining materials. So what types of materials you need in order to let machines act and the human resource using this? And for sure we need money. So the fourth M is money. Money talks. By money, you can buy materials, you can buy machinery, you can have employees or human resources that you can rely on them. Now we transfer into three other inputs, or what we call resources. The first E is the energy. Now, most projects think of what we call sustainable type of resources. For example, depending on the solar energy, water energy, rather than in oil and petroleum, is an idea to think of. How can I use energy in supporting my idea with what we call sustainability of the output? Second E is the environment. By environment, we mean that create a positive environment for your team in order to start acting and achieve results. And the third E is one of the most important, is emotions. Do you think emotions are resources? Let's think of what we mentioned, that resources are always inputs. So can we consider emotions are inputs? Let's check if it affects outputs. Imagine that some of the team is feeling depression, worry, fear, boredom. What about the output? Zero output. Opposite, they have positive emotions, they are passionate, and they are cooperative. For sure, we get an output. Because of this now, they consider emotions as one of the most important resources. And here we invest in what we call emotional intelligence by leaders who use the concept of motivating the team in order to get the idea into implementation and action. 3T. The first resource that we have to think of is what we call time. And time is always money. So we have to think of accelerating the time. And you can get back to the episodes of the value of time, how to think of this very important, crucial resource. Then we apply technology, because now technology and digitalizing is always a part of resources. Now, most projects will rely on digital actions, on technology, if we need to succeed. So technology, consider it. Now we use, for example, robots, and even in large projects, robots, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, all types of technology have to be considered for the success of implementation. And invest in your talent. Talents are resources. So once we have the manpower, they have skills, but also try to achieve their talents and discover their talents to energize them. And finally, we have the two I's as resources. The first most important resource is information. Information is a very, very important resource that will help me act in decision. And finally, infrastructure. And by infrastructure here, we don't mean, for example, the physical infrastructure. We are discussing the managerial infrastructure. Transfer your idea into set of objectives, set of strategies, set of policies, procedures, and processes. Then you define the whole concept of resources that you need in order to help achieve the innovative idea through using of the resources. So resources are the main inputs that we use to help us move with the idea. And you need the soldiers. Because of this, we mentioned that the manpower, the human resources, is the most important capital that we are investing in order to achieve the value of innovation through our soldiers. And to summarize success, we summarize it through the main concepts of what we call the 3 C's of success. What are the 3 C's of success? Before starting implementing the idea, first, please consult. Consult. Look for expertise in the field. Check with them. Consult always. And apply coaching. And we discussed this value of coaching in one of the episodes where we discussed the concept of value of leadership through coaching. So we need to sit with coaches and doing consultation and our consultants. Then the final C is change. Because we live in a continuous change, because we live in a continuous market of change and development, always think, how can I move with my idea with well definition of development, improvement. So this is the third C that will help us move with our ideas. And change is always the key for success. And we'll finalize with what we call the model of secret of success. It's the TEFCAS model. It's a very important model to understand once you are applying the value of innovation. We start first with trial. Whenever you have a new idea, first try it. The first trial will give you an event. It's translated into an event. The event will give what we call feedback. This will give you feedback, so always go and check. And then, if you feel that it does not satisfy the objectives, just adjust and get back to a new trial, a new event, a new feedback, a new check, adjustment. And then you move, for sure, you will reach the concept of success. So failure is normal. We accept to go through this cycle of follow-up, several trials, several feedbacks, then we get to the concept of success. So this is summarizing the concept of innovation and the model starting with think, learn, plan, check the finance, market the idea, then act, and don't use failure as the opposite of success. No, failure is an idea that will help to reach the success. Apply, TEFCAS, trial, event, feedback, check, adjust, then for sure we will reach success. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.